Hey friends of smashing hot stuff. Today I'm gonna show you how I would build a quick and easy burner if ever I needed one. So playing around with flammable gases is pretty dangerous. So I do not recommend you or do not want to instruct you and do that yourself. If you know what you're doing, you may try it on yourself on your own behalf. But if you have any sense at all, buy a burner. Don't try to do what I'm doing.
What do we need? Basically, you need a piece of pipe, something like that. This is 38mm, just round pipe, and no zinc. So then you need a sheet of metal, steel sheet. Again, no zinc, bare as it comes. So then you need a piece of propane hose. This is just what fits my regulator, but there is one thing that is very important about the hose, because we will have to use it later on. This opening here really has to be smaller than 6mm. Actually it needs to be, or perfectly, it's got 5mm. This one is about this is, don't know if you can see that here. This is 5mm. You see it's 5mm. This is perfect. There is a difference, because you can also buy this propane hose. And this got 7mm. And then we need something from the welding store, which is actually these MIG tips. So, and then you need something to connect this to. So you can use, basically you can use anything. If you got flat stock or whatever. So I have this square stock lying around. It's actually pretty much everything I got in my workshop at home. The flat stock is in the smithy, and I'm pretty too lazy now to go and fetch it. So that is pretty much all you need to make a burner, I hope. So first we want to make the pipe, the body of the burner.
So that's pretty much done by sawing a piece off, that's all.
So let's write down some thoughts on the matter, because this is pretty important. So if you got a burner running like this, just imagine it's a burner. So if you have the gas blown in here, and you get air from here and air from here, where's the flame at? So normally the flame will be somewhere here. So, and that means that this area will get pretty hot. So that could mean that you have very much heat in the pipe on the tip. So what you want to have, I don't know if you want, I want that this flame in this place. It does not go into here. So how do you prevent the flame from wandering inside your tube? That is pretty easy. So a brake, something. So what we have here is that piece of sheet metal. I can show you from a burner which I bought with Tommy years ago, or a month ago. This is the secret. So this piece of sheet metal here prevents your burner from taking heat. So this is what we need to make.
When I started out on this blacksmithing journey, I didn't have a burner. I was searching for a video or some text on the internet to show me how I could build a burner very easy and very cheap without having a welding machine and without having anything else, and I couldn't find any. So that is why I'm making this video myself. So if anyone starts, just for information of course, that is how I would build an easy burner. These burners may not be super perfect and they may not be super hot, but they will run. And if you have a forge, you can still forge with them.
So I cut out and drilled quite a lot of these, well, experimental choke plates and tried to install them into the burner, which did actually work not so good. They eventually got themselves caught in the nozzle, but it was quite a wonky thing, so they did not actually stay there. It wasn't really fastly installed. So and I didn't want to lose the choke while I was working with a burner. So I cut out even more of these things. And after a while I even stopped drilling them because I just wanted to have the connection right and to have it stuck in there. And because I was making so much of them that drilling was a nuisance, I just spared me the drilling for when I had the final solution. And it was then that I sat down and had a beer and was thinking about, okay, what can I do, what do I have, and how do I fix this? And then suddenly I had an idea. And I think this idea really solved the problem for me.
So here's that step one. I'm cutting a groove just completely around the burner nozzle and as close to the edge as possible. For that I just take what is it called, a rotary tool with a cutting disc, Dremel like thingy, and now that the groove is all around, you see I just tilt that machine a bit and then I'm cutting in something like an entrance to the groove, just angled from it. And yeah, you see, like a thread if you want. This is very important because this is what came to my mind when I was sitting and pondering the question on how to install that choke plate into the nozzle and without having it falling out and or melting down or I don't know what. So here I'm making the choke, or the choking plate, or whatever you might want to call it. Pre-drilling it with a smaller drill, and then drilling out the 8mm holes. So that needs deburring, so that I don't cut my hands on it. and after that it needs to be brought to shape. I have marked out two circumferences. One is the inner diameter of the pipe, and the other one is the middle diameter, which is roughly estimated the diameter of the groove in the nozzle. So to have this more precise, I'm grinding it down on my belt grinder. So you see, because the circumference is quite middle-ish. It's not the ID, it's also not the OD. Now it needs to go into the pipe, so to do that I'm just nipping the side of the plate so that the plate can just thread in. So now it depends on the groove that you've ground in the pipe nozzle. I've done it the other way around, so I have to bend the flaps. So then I'm using this pliers, putting it through the holes of the plate. See that to rotate the plate into the groove. Just going through these thread-like thingy I ground in. Then it's in. So this is pretty much hard to get out already, but I do want to have it fastened in. So I take a center punch and hammer on the front of the nozzle to squeeze down in the groove, so that thing won't gonna turn. You want to make sure you're doing this, that you don't slip and end up punching the plate. That happened to me, and yeah, it was hard enough to bend the plate out of the groove. So this is now what it looks like ready. So that plate won't go anywhere. No TIG welding, just a little bit of grinding.
So this is now ready to test. It's nothing much, just a pipe with sheet metal in it, drilled holes. That's pretty much all. And this, if you pump gas through here, is a ready burner. So you want to see? I'll show you. So the flame's just in front of it. I wanted to heat up the nozzle because I want to show it.
So I'm putting that small torch in front of it because I got one hand on the gas hose and one hand on the valve, and I just lack a third hand to light the burner there. So now I can take it away, and you see it's burning on its own. It's not much pressure on it by now, but as I told you, if you have that thingy in the forge or in the oven or whatever, then it would burn on its own. So
So, do I dare? Oh yes, I do. It's actually about 30 or 40 degrees Celsius, not more.
So since I need two hands for forging, I just need a piece of equipment that holds the gas hose to the burner, which I did on hand previously. So this is just the piece of square stock I showed you in the beginning of the video. I have cut the lower end in half and drilled 2 holes in it which meet perpendicular in the middle of the piece. The half part gets around the corner, quite easy. You can maybe just do it in the vise without heating it, but I don't know, maybe it breaks, depends on the material. So one side gets threaded, M6 thread there, you see the make tips clamped in, so that is fast and secure. So now this holder piece gets to the pipe, which just holds clamps. Again, no welding there. There's absolutely no welding on the whole piece. So and this is quite ready now. So now you need some fuel to light the machine. So this is the part where you have to make some research if you get those hoses. So you need to remove this the nut. I'm just doing it with the Dremel, and then I'm threading the 5mm hole, which is perfect for the MIG tips. Again, I don't know if you can get propane hoses that way. So this is Teflon on the MIG tip there, just to make it seal and tight. And here you see, burns like hell.
So this is the ready burner. This is quite very easy way to build it, but as you have seen, it's pretty effective. The KSO forge I'm actually running gets up to forge welding heat with one of these. Quite the same build, with any exception you got a bend in it, so it comes from the side. This one is straight, and yeah, everything is quite the same technique. As you have seen, you can easily build this contraption here. This is what I had at hand. So normally you would take 8mm flat stock. Normally you would weld this, and what I wanted to do is making a burner without having any of this fancy equipment. Actually I do have it, but the goal was to show you all outside how you can build a burner with, or how I build burners without fancy equipment. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and don't do this if you don't know actually what you're doing. So if you're building anything with propane or any flammable gas or any I don't know, burning gas or whatever, make sure that you know what you're doing. Don't kill yourself.